Dan Show. We got an interesting episode today. All my life of work gone. Good thing I got insurance. About to see what it does. Bad times. That is why I drive a Chevrolet. Still running, still driving. AC even works. $7,000 miles away from 300,000. Almost made it. Say she's done for. So I'm taking my morning mini bike ride, kind of enjoying the fact that me and my wife are still alive. Pretty intense yesterday. Could have been way worse. I like to think that I gracefully crashed. But yeah, it was intense. Man, this first time I've ever really gotten a wreck. You know, a big wreck. I'm running into a ditch. You know, I don't really consider that a wreck. That was just a small mishap. But yeah, it happened pretty quick. I mean, I say it happened quick, but it really, in all honesty, it happened in slow motion. I mean, I literally had enough time to really think, you know, and use my head, you know, kind of go through how it all happened, I guess. You know, we had just got on the interstate, and you know, I drove on a few back roads for a little while, and everything seemed really good on the trailer. You know, I'm pretty happy where everything was at. And got on the interstate, got about 55, still going good, you know, liking where it is. And got up a little bit faster, we're getting in with traffic. Hit about 60, you know, in between 60 and 65. Felt the squirrel a little bit, and I was like, ooh, that ain't good. So I kind of let off, and started going a little bit more, and it started more, but it started more, but it was a little bit more violent. You know, it wasn't intense at then, but I felt it, you know, kicking back and forth. Wasn't really shaking the truck too bad. I could see it in the rear view mirror, you know, the car moving back and forth on the trailer. And everyone has always told me that if it starts to sway, floor the gas pedal and, you know, start going faster, and it'll actually straighten up. You know, the worst thing to do is hit the brakes, which I've had a problem with a vehicle sway before, and I did hit the brakes, and it got a little scary. And so yeah, I've kind of learned not to hit the brakes. So yeah, I floored it, and it started gaining speed, and it got better. It was almost all gone, but then I ran up on traffic, and I couldn't go any further, so I had to let off the gas. I don't think I hit the brake. I don't think I hit the brakes at all during the whole wreck. I think I just had my feet flat on the floorboards. Didn't hit the gas, didn't hit the brakes. But we got up on the traffic, and it just started going more and more. And I was just like, oh man, this is gonna get bad real quick. And we just started shaking side to side, and it got worse. And I was like, oh man, you know, I was trying to gracefully pull the wheel. I didn't want to jerk it. I didn't want to overcorrect or nothing like that. But like I said, it just kept getting worse. And I heard the tires start squealing in the back, and I was like, oh, here we go. It just started, you know, fishtail side to side. And I was like, oh man, I was slapping the wheel back and forth. I knew if that truck went sideways and started skidding and stopped skidding, it would flip. So I basically drifted that thing with a trailer, with a car on the trailer. And best of my memory I can remember, you know, we had hit the right side and it just started sliding. And I remember looking out the window, you know, my wife was in the passenger side seat, and I knew if that truck flipped, you know, I knew she'd be dead, and I'd probably be dead. So I just had to use my brain real quick, and I just cut the wheel over to the passenger side. That way it would slide, and it did exactly that. And it actually straightened back up and come over on my side, and I kicked the wheel over to the driver's side. And same thing, it slid, and luckily it did slow us down. And I want to say it slid back and forth 2 times. It may have been 3, but I don't know. But yeah, when we were coming back on the driver's side, my quarter panel hit the wall. And I'm thinking the quarter panel hit the wall and then the trailer hit the wall, because the Cadillac has some road rash on the taillight filler. And the whole back end of the car had been swapped over. Yeah, I know my driver's side quarter panel on my truck hit the wall because it was all caved in. And then we hit it and bounced back, kind of did like a 90-degree and smacked square into the wall. The front edge, boom. Really couldn't have been any more perfect, because I think that's what really saved us. You know, I couldn't tell you what speed we were going by then. I would assume 40, 50-ish maybe. But yeah, luckily when we were swerving, it brought the speed down a good bit. So I mean, our impact wasn't that bad. You know, I remember right before we hit the wall, I looked over at my wife, and I was just like, oh man, you know, this could be it. And I remember the airbags popping, and I was just like, oh man, you know, we're done. And everything come to a stop. You know, the dust cleared. I was like, holy crap, we're alive. You know, I didn't hit nothing. You know, we have our seatbelts on, and I don't even remember the airbags touching us, which is pretty good, because I've always heard horror stories about airbags, you know, bruising you up, breaking bones and all that. You know, my wife, she can't really recall if the airbag hit her or not, and she doesn't think it did. But yeah, we got out of the truck. You know, I stopped and I walked out of the truck. And I was okay, and I made sure she was okay before anything really. And you know, she said she was all right, and I got out and opened the door, and you know, basically kind of just come to the realization of what just happened. And my truck was sitting sideways in the interstate. The trailer was it was jackknifed on the driver's side. And I guess when I hit the wall, the truck had actually bounced back a little bit, because once I got out and seen, well, the truck was sitting sideways, the trailer was kind of jackknifed, and the Cadillac was hanging half off the trailer, and I knew I needed to get out of the road before it caused another wreck and then possibly killed us, because I think that would have been the worst, getting hit at a standstill. So I kind of did a brief glance at everything, and I realized everything was totaled, you know, so I wasn't gonna hurt nothing by moving it. So I fired the truck up, put it in gear, pulled it all forward. I had a flat tire, which once again, who cares? Fired it up, pulled it forward, and by this time it was just the Cadillac sitting in the fast lane. And I was like, I gotta get that thing out of the way. So I got my winch and drug the cable out, and I was hooked to it and dragged it out of the way. And at that time, when I had the winch all strung out, I was like, hey dummy, car runs, get in it, move it. So hopped in that and got it out of traffic, and kind of just sat and processed what the hell happened. And you know, thankfully we were alive and all okay. The worst thing about the wreck, I could say, I shit my pants. I hit the wall. I guess the seatbelt squeezed some out of me, so I had to lose my drawers on the side of the interstate. It was rough. By far the worst part. But then the cops came and you know, took all my information. That wasn't too bad. I was kind of expecting it to be worse. The cop was like, you know, where's your trailer tag at? I should have told him the trailer tag must have fell off, but I told him, I said, I don't have a trailer tag. I said, I've never had a trailer tag. I said, I didn't even know you need a trailer tag. And he said, yep, all utility vehicles must have a tag. And I was like, well, at this point in time, that is the least of my worries. Write me a ticket for that? Whatever, I don't care. You know, here I am, lost 3 vehicles, you know, I guess a trailer would be considered a vehicle. In the state of Alabama it is. But yeah, I was like, I'm out, you know, just about everything, you know, not everything, but I'm out a good portion of what I've worked my entire life to have. and I will be damned if I'm going to worry about a tag. So, you know, he was pretty cool. He didn't really give me a bunch of headache about that. But, you know, he's like, you know, what do you want to do with the vehicle? So I'm like, I don't know. I don't deal with this on a daily basis. You know, this is the first wreck I've ever been in to the, you know. And so I told him, I was like, I guess I'm going to have it towed to the house. You know, meanwhile, I'm 2 hours away from the house. So he gets a wrecker up there, and I'm talking to the tow truck driver. And he's like, you want it all towed to the house? I was like, I guess. I said, I don't know anywhere else to tow it. You know, he's like, we can tow it to our tow yard. I'm like, that's a terrible idea. And so he gives me a price for towing three vehicles. He's like, we'll have to have 2 trucks. I was like, well, it is what it is. And he come back and he's like, you know, it'd be like $1,600. I'm like, oh. I'm like, well, I don't have an option. I'm sitting here on the side of the road, you know, 3 mangled up vehicles, and I'm kind of just ready to go home. And so he's like, all right, well, I'll get another truck and we'll do it. I'm like, you know, that's the only option I really have. I couldn't get a hold of my insurance company, of course. Any other time I call them, they answer, you know, that minute. But of course, it was a holiday weekend, plus football is starting up, so I'm sure they were busy doing something else. So we kind of get that en route, and he comes back over to me. And he's like, hey, he's like, I can get a big truck, like a semi, and I think it's called a Landau. And he was like, I can get that, and we can haul it in one trip. And I was like, that's cool. You know, I'm sure that'd be cheaper than having 2 trucks. Wrong, completely wrong. He was like, yeah, it'd be like $2,600. I'm like, why is it more for 1 truck? And he was like, well, you know, it's basically a special needs truck. And he's like, we can't haul 2 trucks down to your house because that kind of take up our whole fleet, and we'd be out of business for, you know, potentially 4 hours. I'm like, I guess I understand that, but I was like, I don't have that kind of money. You know, I mean, I'm stretching it just to paying for 2 trucks to come down here. You know, that's really putting me in the hole. But I didn't really have much other option. So we kind of talked a little bit more, and you know, the cop was talking with me, and he was like, you know, I would take it to the wrecking yard. He said the insurance is going to need to come see all the vehicles in order to cover all of it. And I was like, well, you make a good point there. So we took them all to the wrecker yard. Luckily, a friend of ours was able to come up and pick us up. I don't really know a whole lot of people in Alabama that could have brought me back home, so we were kind of trying to figure that out. But she came through and really helped us out. And the dude that drove the tow truck, he was really super cool. I hate that I had to bother him on a weekend, especially a holiday weekend, but he was really cool. And he was pretty much like, yeah, it sucks. He's like, I've seen a bunch of wrecks, and you know, he was like, yours was one of the more graceful ones. And he's like, you guys come out pretty good, which I agree 100%. You know, the real worst part I got, you know, I got some rash and a little bit of bruising from the seatbelt. And my wife, her side's a little bit beat up. So far, you know, she seems to be okay. She's sore, and I'm a little sore. I kind of figured I'd be way more sore than what I am, but I'm doing all right. But yeah, don't recommend it. You know, don't recommend getting in wrecks. And I've hauled tons and tons of cars, and I've always been very, very leery about it. You know, like I said, I have had it happen once before, and actually it was in a buddy of mine's car. He had a SS Trailblazer, it was a 6.0, and it had all the power in the world, but we were hauling a Caprice, and it happened, and it almost got that bad. You know, the tires were squealing. I do remember that day, and he saved it. And it really scared us. You know, it was really, really intense. And I've always had that in the back of my mind every time I haul a trailer. And you know, I always try and put tons of tongue weight. And you know, I'd rather have the truck be squatting. I'm no professional car hauler by any means, you know, but I've learned, you know, the more tongue weight I can have on it, the better that truck will drive. You know, obviously there's too much tongue weight. I've kind of found my sweet spot. And you know, every time I'd haul my Cadillac, I knew where to put the car, where it tows the best, you know. And it is crazy. A few inches make a big difference. And, you know, I was pretty happy where I had the car I was hauling yesterday. It was a lot lighter. You know, it was a stock car, and it was a lot lighter than, you know, all my other Cadillacs. So I felt very confident where it was. Like I said, when I took off the initial start, you know, I kind of shook the wheel, make sure everything's all right. You know, on the back roads, we did about 45. And everything seemed perfectly fine. I was very happy with where it was at. But, you know, it got crazy. You know, got really crazy. So now I'm kind of wondering, what do I do from here? Got my daily driver right here. Might get the Nova going. Might be a little bit closer than the Oldsmobile. But, you know, I'm sure insurance is going to pay for my vehicles. If not, we're going to have some problems. But what do I do from here? Do I get it? I mean, I have to have another truck, obviously. Pick up steel and parts and stuff like that. Then want a 2500. Kind of wanting a diesel. I mean, it's kind of like if you buy a 2500, you get a diesel. But do I tow and haul enough to justify getting a diesel? That's always been in the back of my mind. Whether the investment would be worth it. I mean, obviously, yes, safety-wise for towing a vehicle, definitely. But I don't tow a vehicle every day, all day. I don't, you know, sometimes I don't tow a vehicle at a month. Sometimes I don't tow a vehicle in 2 months. I mean, obviously, it's been getting more and more popular with me transporting cars and getting parts cars and stuff like that. So it does make a little bit more sense, you know, to get a bigger vehicle. And another thing the tow truck driver brought up to me, which is pretty smart, made good sense. He was like, why don't you buy a wrecker? I was like, dude, I ain't got pockets for a wrecker. He was like, what do you mean? I was like, things are expensive. He's like, nah, we're really not that bad. And he pulled up on Facebook and he showed me a bunch of ramp trucks and like $6,000, $5,000. I was like, I'll be damned. I was like, that is a good idea. You know, I kind of enjoy the luxuries of my truck. You know, I mean, my truck's my home away from home, kind of. You know, it's comfortable. It rides good. Got nice AC, which, I mean, a ramp truck could have AC, but it's still a ramp truck. You know, my truck, I can unhook my trailer and cruise around. You know, and it's still my truck. It's something I drive. I like to say every day, but I don't drive very much anymore. But you know, I've drove it long enough where I enjoy it. I'm comfortable in it. I know the ins and outs of it. I know it's dependable. You know, I have no doubt in it. So, don't really know what I'm going to do there. You know, kind of weighing the options, really. You know, my wife, she's all about getting a Camaro, which I'm not against. But like I said, I do need a truck, and I prefer to have a somewhat nice truck. I mean, there's the things I work for in life is to have, you know, decent, nice vehicles. But I guess we're gonna see where it all goes. You know, I mean, all I can do is move one step at a time, kind of figure things out. I was literally just about to build a shop too, talking to the guy at the bank, trying to get things in order for that. But I'm kind of thinking this is probably gonna put that on hold. I need a bigger shop, definitely. I'm starting to get into builds where I need more room. I need a lift. I can do it without it. I have done it without it. You know, obviously, I've done it all these years without it. But man, it would make it a lot easier, make it a lot faster. But we'll just have to see. You know, I mean, I've made it this far in life. I've pretty much accomplished just about every goal I've had out there. So I mean, you know, when I was standing on the side of the road yesterday, I was looking at everything, you know, just destroyed. That was my first thought. I was like, man, everything I've worked for is gone. And I thought to myself, you know, it'll be all right. 10 years ago, if that happened, I would have been freaking. I was like, oh my God, you know, I'm done. I can't start over from here. But, you know, I kind of learned with age. It'll be all right, one way or another. You know, it'll be okay. You know, we weren't hurt. As, like I said, 10 years ago, if I got in a wreck, you know, my vehicles were a big thing. I'd say, you know, when I was in my 20s, you know, somebody leaned on my car, we were fighting. You're getting punched. That's how it was. You do not lean on my car. And if anybody else seen you leaning on my car, they would tell you real quick, get off my car. And, you know, everybody's like, a car can be replaced. I was like, no, not this car. But, you know, I've kind of learned it can be replaced. You know, it sucks to lose a car, but it sucks way worse losing a person. That is for damn sure. But we got home last night. After all that, we had got home. It was a pretty long ordeal. It was a full day. But me and my wife were sitting on the back porch, you know, kind of unwinding and processing what all happened. And when we were on the side of the road, you know, I was looking through my phone. I was trying to call police and all that. And I had noticed a Facebook message. You know, it had my wife's name and my buddy Chad as the Nova. it had his mom. And I figured, you know, my wife messaged her to tell her, hey, we got in a wreck, we're okay, you know, before she had seen it on Facebook and was, you know, freaked out that we were hurt or something. So I didn't really pay much attention because I had so much going on at the moment. And we got home and we started talking about it. And my wife was like, you know, did you see that dead text? Like right as we got in the wreck, within minutes. And you know, I can't put it down to a certain time because I want to say it was like 1 o'clock, 1:30. That time frame. I just remember sitting in the truck when it was on the side of the road and we had already had everything cleared out. And I remember it was getting hot and I started the truck up and turned the AC on. And I remember it was 1:30, so it was right in that area. And she had some stuff come across on Facebook. I don't remember what it is. I'll pull it back up. I'll put a screenshot on it. But yeah, she had some stuff. I want to say it was Freddy Cougar or something like that. And Chad loved Freddy Cougar. And, I mean, I loved Freddy Cougar and Jason. And you know, she had sent us that, and she was like, Chad's thinking about you, and I figured I'd check in and see how you guys are doing. And I was like, that was some crazy timing. You know, and he was there. He made sure we were all right. So very thankful for that. But I'm glad we're all right. It was crazy. Definitely don't want to do that again. So just gotta keep moving on. That's all we can do. So I guess I'm gonna get inside, start editing this, so you guys can see what my eventful day was like. Hopefully there won't be no more videos like this. Still do have a lot of videos coming up. There's gonna be a few videos that have been previously recorded on the Cadillac Dan Show, but I've just been busy. Haven't had time to edit. I think I got like 3 or 4 videos. Got the Nova running, so that's gonna be a video coming up. I actually had it run for quite a while, but I just haven't had the time to edit. I've been working on my Fleetwood big time, but might have to slow down because there ain't really a reason to build it to go to Orlando because I don't think that's gonna happen. It may, but I don't know. Time will tell, I guess. But till then, hit the like button, comment, tell me what you think. Pretty crazy stuff. Subscribe if you haven't already. I mean, apparently we do some pretty crazy stuff. Tow truck driver subscribed. That was cool. We were yakking and he was like, you got a YouTube channel? And I was like, yeah. He looked it up, he's like, I subscribed. I was like, cool, man, appreciate it. So he'll be watching. You know, thank you again for helping us out and being cool. I'll go a little bit more in detail about the Cadillac later on. Just kind of waiting things out, see how things are going to pan out. But other than that, I'm kind of into here. Enjoy the day. Need to work on the Fleetwood. I might. I don't know what I'm going to do. Just kind of cruise around. My neighbors are having a blast there. Literally. They're just going to town shooting some ammo. They've shot off probably $1,000 worth of rounds already. Kind of need to become friends with them, go hang out with them for a little bit. But yeah, I'm going to end it here. I appreciate you guys watching, and luckily I'm alive to see you guys on the next one. And one more thing. Grand finale. One more thing. I need a Fleetwood. If you got a Fleetwood and you want to sell it for a decent price, I'm not talking about Facebook prices, $20,000. I just need a stock Fleetwood. You know, looking around the $3,500, $4,500 range. If less, that'd be cool. You know, kind of need to run and drive because I don't have a truck and a trailer to tow it, so I need to drive it. But hit me up, definitely. Get up with me on Facebook. You can get up with me on YouTube. So yeah, definitely need a Fleetwood. Give me a shout.